Keith, what's your camera setup? I got you. Also, this is about to get really nerdy in camera specific terms, so if that's not interesting to you, feel free to swipe, I won't be offended. Let's start with the body. The camera I use is the Fujifilm X-T4. I've used this camera for about 2 years now. It came at the recommendation of a good friend of mine, Trey. I love this body. I used to use Canon and I switched to Fujifilm because I love the degree of control that you can get, and specifically in video. It has really awesome color profiles you can get right out the gate. You can control the bitrate of the footage that you're getting. You have dials for all your different settings. You have ISO, shutter speed, and on the lenses you have aperture. Very cool, very manual. Love this camera to death. It's also an APS-C body, which just means that it's a smaller sensor, and that means that I can carry it around and take it in places that would otherwise be harder to go. And it's also easier to pass off to other people because it's not as heavy. My two most common lenses are the 35mm f1.4, which is a full frame equivalent of like a 50mm f2.1, and the 23mm f1.4, which is the full frame equivalent of like a 35mm f2.1. This is what I use to get all my skincare videos, those close-up, really nice portrait shots. This is what I use to get all my fashion videos, those like wider angle, full body images. Both of these have really shallow depth of field, which just means the background is super creamy, super blurry, which is very nice. And they both have manual aperture rings, which I really like. Part of the reason that I'm able to get a really shallow depth of field with these lenses is because I use a variable ND filter. Luckily, these have the same exact filter thread, so I can use the same ND filter on both of these lenses. Basically, what this does is it can make an image darker or brighter as you turn it. For my audio, I use the Rode NTG shotgun mic. I love this mic. It'll turn on and off automatically when you turn your camera on and off, which is so nice because there have been times where I fully filmed a video and then realized my microphone wasn't on, and that is the most frustrating feeling when you just finished all that work and then realize you can't use any of it. It's really nice because there are a couple different levels of noise isolation on here. So for example, if the air conditioning is going or there's background noise, it can cut some of that out. And you can also choose your volume gain with this as well, basically how loud it's gonna be. This is the cart that I use for all of my skincare and a lot of my fashion videos as well. It has a lot of my camera gear on it and it's very handy. I'll stash all the skincare that I'm using on here at the time. Pro tip, this is an index card. I'll show it at the beginning of all of my videos, and it allows us to go ahead and get the white balance right off the bat. If you'll notice, I have some daylight coming in here, and then I have some like warmer lights in the background of my house. It helps make sure that the colors come out consistently every time. This is being filmed on my iPhone 13, although most of my videos are not. Most of my videos are filmed on my Fujifilm X-T4.